Hey, did you know Long's Products is a family-owned janitorial supply with mops, brooms, trash bags, and they even have food service disposables, carry-out plates, and to-goes? Check us out.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to a special edition of the UrbanCast Let's Talk show here this morning. I'm your host, Jack. Today, we're talking to Alexandria Senior High Trojans basketball as they prepare for the LHSAA State Semifinals down there in the booming metropolis of Lake Charles. Joining us this morning from Lake Charles is Ash head football coach, Coach Lance Brasher. Coach Brasher and the Trojans arrived in Lake Charles ahead of today's semifinal matchup against Edna Karr at Burton Coliseum at 4:30 p.m. Coach Brasher, we appreciate you taking the time to join us and your team as y'all prepare for one of the biggest moments of the season this morning.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all for having us.
No, anytime, Coach, anytime. Everyone watching, if y'all have something you want to bring into the conversation, please feel free to do so by dropping it in the comments. Coach, let's go ahead and just jump on in there because I know you got a busy schedule this morning. I'm going to ask you a little bit about that tie over there to Peabody, but I really want to jump on down into what's planned for today. This is a historical moment for Alexandria basketball, their coach, and both for Ash and Peabody, and in the Final Four this week. What does that say about the level of basketball coming out of this city?
I think it speaks to the level of coaching. I think it speaks to the level of players and the talent that CenLA has. With us being in the Final Four, Peabody being in the Final Four, Marksville also being in the Final Four, and Tyler, we get into the third round this year. It speaks to how well basketball is being played in CenLA and how blessed the area is.
Right. And that's almost across all of the disciplines in sports around here. Football, the whole works, man. When you look at the journey, the journey this Trojan team has taken this season, what stands out most about the group?
I think their togetherness, for the most part, they play really well together. They're not selfish in the fact that they need the ball or they need so many shots. They really go off of whoever has the mismatch that particular night, and then they try to fill the role of a role player if it's not their night to score. Mm-hmm. So I think that's the special part about the group. They play hard. They play together. They're talented, which helps, but their togetherness and them being able to play together through ups and downs has really been the special part for me.
Mm-hmm. What has been the mindset of the players since arriving in Lake Charles?
I would say it's up and down, and that's kind of my job, is to kind of keep it, as a normal routine as possible, best we can, but trying to let them understand that this isn't a field trip. This isn't a parade. Like, that's all next week when you win. So it's just a basketball game. Now, there's a lot on the line, but it's just a basketball game. And the teams that can control their emotions and dictate what they want to do the best are the teams that usually win.
Wow. All right. I hear you. One of the most powerful stories behind this moment is your relationship with Peabody's head basketball coach, Charles Smith. You once played under him, and now both of you are leading Alexandria programs in the Final Four. What has that relationship meant to you, bro?
Well, I mean, he's like a father figure to me. He's been there with me through my whole life. Danced at my wedding. I've said this on multiple interviews. He was a pallbearer in my grandfather's funeral. He's been really close to my family ever since I played for him. And people don't understand this because unless you played for him and been in practice, his competitiveness and how he wants to win every single scrimmage, drill, whatever. I think that, me being competitive, I think that's why we got along so well, and still to this day still get along so well, is how competitive he is and wanting to win at everything. and it's really been remarkable that he's still doing it because everybody thought he was going to retire after we won it 22 years ago, but he's still going. And I tell him all the time, I joke with him all the time, like, I don't know how you do it. Like, I'm only 18 years in, and I'm just, I don't know how you do it. Like, it's unbelievable. Yeah, he's been great. I mean, he's in the Hall of Fame in Louisiana. He's in the Michael Jordan Hall of Fame in the nation. I mean, you can't say that your high school coach did that. I can say that, you know. So he's always been there for me if I needed help with anything. And, you know, a lot of what we try to do is from him, you know. I mean, we don't necessarily run the same offense, you know, but our mindset is defense, rebounding, and we want to set the tempo and we want to dictate the pace. And, you know, that's what his teams do. And we're trying to do, there's a piece of him that's in what we're doing.
Right.
So, and he lives on through us, you know. So I'm really appreciative of everything he's done for us.
Wow. What are some of the lessons, you know, well, you just answered that pretty much that question I was going to ask, but I guess I'm going to jump on here. How special is it to see Alexandria represented? Because, you know, a lot of times we get a lot of negative stuff coming at us, but, you know. Yeah.
And the good part for me is that Peabody has always been represented, you know, back from when I played back before. The special part for me is now that multiple teams are being, you know, represented. You know, we're being represented, Marksville, not necessarily in Alexandria, but in the surrounding areas, you know, and Tioga being able to get to the third round again. So I think that part is special. I think it gives the city something to look forward to. It gives the city something to watch and that they pull for. I'm hoping, and I think for the most part tonight, you know, it's a Cenla night. We play first, and then Marksville, and then Peabody. I think you're going to see a lot of people show up, and especially Peabody being the last game, and Peabody's going up against the hometown Washington Marion Indians, and that's a rivalry. And back from when I played, I think you're going to see a lot of Ash and Marksville fans stay to try to help them get over the hump against all those Washington Marion fans, and that's going to be special. So I think Sunlight's special in that regard.
Yeah, so you think that that arena going to be full from beginning to the end?
I don't know about the beginning to the end, but I would say by halftime of the Marksville game, it's going to be full. Yeah.
Yep. Your team has battled through a tough playoff bracket to get where you guys are right now. What has impressed you most about the way your players have handled the postseason?
Well, I think it's a little different in the fact that the team that won it in 2020 didn't have a lot of expectations. You know, the previous year they had lost in the first round. They weren't used to winning. And so we were kind of in the underdog role of just trying to upset people, and we were able to get hot and make a run and win it. I think this team has kind of had expectations from the beginning of being one of the top 2 or 3 teams in the state. And for the most part, they have, you know, held the standard and done that every night. Now, we have not won every game, but most teams don't. But for the most part, we ended in the top 4 like we wanted to. That was one of our goals, to where we get all our home games throughout the playoffs. We got back to March Madness, which is what we want to do. And then now, you know, you just, the chips fall where they may. You play your hardest, and if you win, you win. And you just want a shot at it when you get down here. Anything can happen.
Right. Today, you guys are going to face the talented Edna Karr team. You know, you said it at 4:30. What challenges do they present to us today?
Karr is really athletic. They're big. They're athletic. I think we're only bigger than them at one spot. They have really big guards, which tend to give us a few problems. We have some advantages too that we're going to try to exploit. So it's going to be whichever team can manage, you know, their mistakes and also exploit the other team's weaknesses, you know, in front of a big crowd. You know, can you handle your emotions? Can you stay poised? Can you stay the course? You know, and really it boils down to, we watched Bossier and Wiseman play last night. That's why we couldn't do our interview with you. And really sloppy game, and came down to like 3 possessions at the end of guys rebounding and boxing out and playing defense. So I expect a similar type of game, sloppy, defense-oriented rebounding, and whichever team, you know, pretty much guards the best and rebounds the best is going to win.
I hear you. When preparing for a game of this magnitude, what is your message to the players?
Well, we try to keep it as routine as possible. I mean, our guys play between 75 and 100 games in the summer with each other, and we've seen every defense, we've seen every offense, just to try to tell them, like, you're prepared for whatever comes your way. So now all you really have to do is control your emotions and control what you can control. You can control boxing out, you can control rebounding, you can control defense. You're not necessarily going to control whether you make shots or not. Shots fall, they don't fall. But you can control what you can control. And that's pretty much our message, every night. And yes, this game has a lot of that goes with it for sure. But it really comes down to if you can control your emotions and just play hard and play together.
Okay. All right. And talk a little bit about the leadership on this team. Which players have really stepped up in the big moments this season?
It's hard to say. It's been a mixed match of a few of them. Tyshawn Duncan's the #1 player in the state, but he plays down low for us, and he can bring the ball up if he needs to. That's not necessarily his role as far as being vocal. Marcus Bolden's not very vocal. Jarvell Borderline's not very vocal, but those guys lead by example. I would say the vocal leaders are probably Corey Wright and Trey Doherty, both of our point guards that have been great for us, and have kind of made sure we're in what we need to be in to run our sets and run our stuff on defense. But I mean, that's what's special about the group. It's kind of been everybody,
Right.
Some of the big games, it was Trey had a big game. The next game, Tyshawn had a big game, and Jarvell had, so it's kind of hard to scout and prepare for us because anybody can have a good night. We just try to go with the mismatches and take advantage of that.
Well, tell you what, it's kind of interesting that you say they pick up for each other. So, their quietness is that they're studying the other guys and saying, right, hey, this is what I need to do.
Right.
Yeah. Fans see all of the talent on the floor, but not always the work behind the scenes. What kind of commitment do these young men show every day when they grind?
The average fan doesn't know. I mean, they just show up and they watch the game. So easy.
Yeah, give you Monday morning quarter.
But Tyshawn ought to be doing this, and Trey ought to be doing that. But they don't understand that it's a marathon. It is not. It's not like football. It's not a 10-week, 15-week. Games. It's 34 regular season games. It's 5 playoff games. It's a grind. It's a marathon. It wears you out. It wears you out both physically and mentally, So them being able to grind through everything and practice, you got weights, you got film, you got walkthroughs, you got, and it's every day you have something. And their commitment to, being students first and then doing all these things is remarkable. And that's some of the upsetting part when fans get on them or this and that. They expect all these things. These are kids. These are kids that are trying to manage emotions, manage teammates in this world of social media where they don't even hardly talk to each other. Well, now you're forced on a team to communicate with each other and work to a common goal. So It's really remarkable what they're able to do.
When your players step onto the court this afternoon, what do you want the team representing Alexandria to do?
I just want Alexandria to be proud of how hard we played and how we played together. And then whatever happens after that happens. I'll really be pleased. And I tell our guys that as long as we play hard, we play together, we play with a purpose, win or lose. You just tip your hat to the other team and say, you just beat us that night. But we need to be able to go home and have not any regrets if we wind up losing.
So this last question here, Coach. When the Trojans walk into Burton Coliseum this afternoon at 4:30 p.m., what mindset do you want the young men carrying onto that floor?
Well, it's kind of what we told them. We feel like we're one of the best teams in the state whenever we walk on the floor. We feel like we are one of the best teams in the state. And we need to play like that. We need to play hard. We need to play together. And typically when we have done those things, we have been very, very successful. So if we do those things, I like our chances tonight.
Anything else you want to say to us back here holding down the home front?
Apparently the weather's going to be bad, so y'all be safe if you're coming down this way. Appreciate everybody's support. Hopefully y'all come down and support us, support Marksville, support Peabody. It's a big day for Son-La. Hopefully we can all three get it done.
All right. We're definitely rooting for all three of you guys. Coach Brasher, we appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule. I know it to be a busy schedule right now, joining us this morning. And we wish the best of luck for you guys this morning in Lake Charles. This is a special moment for Alexandria. From a mentor to a protege, 2 Alexandria programs now stand on the final floor. 1 city, 2 teams, 1 goal, bring the state championships back to Alexandria. And okay, oh, by the way, we want Marksville to bring it on back home for them as well. To everyone watching, thank you for continuing to support UrbanCast. We also want to thank our supporters, Saddler's Towing, Long Products, Legendary Kung Fu Tai Chi, United Wrestling, Nader International Market, the Threadhead Embroidery. And once again, we encourage everyone watching to stay engaged. Coach, again, thank you so much, and go Trojans. All right.
Hey, did you know Long's Products is a family-owned janitorial supply with mops, brooms, trash bags, and they even have food service disposables, carry-out plates, and to-goes? Check us out.